and take them out. German butterball, I think that's it. I think that's it. Those were like really, really good potatoes. I was impressed with those. I don't like that one either. 2 minutes. Actually, let's get a fork. Stick a fork in me, I'm done. That's boiling, that's doing good. Well, we'll just use a knife. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the thicker ones because, you know, get off of there. Go back in. I really like that brine. I'm gonna let them go for about 2 minutes. They're still crunchy, but they're not like when you eat like a raw carrot. They're still crunchy. Oh, those German, yes. We did a stream here, a while back, on the best type of potatoes for various dishes. You know, mashed potatoes versus a potato salad and that type of stuff. I haven't met a potato I didn't like. Oops, you go this way. I love, love, love potatoes. I also love rice. I also love pasta. Bad, bad, bad. So is anybody here going to do any canning? And if so, what are you going to can? Now that one's already a little shorter, but has a dry end on it, so we're going to make sure we use that. I always like to know what people are going to can. I'm going to try and can a lot. Mr. Slothman, hello, and that is fantastic. Are you going to be canning low acid foods like meats and vegetables, and do you have a pressure canner? And have you had your gauge tested? These are all the questions I ask. And I will say, you know, so here's the thing, guys. When you're here in my stream, when you're here in my stream and I'm doing things on canning stuff, I follow the rules to the letter, right? I don't make any shortcuts. It's going to take time, and I won't make any shortcuts. And I have been in other people's streams where they're pickling stuff or they're canning stuff or in their discords or whatever, and that's their discord, and that's I'm not going to say anything. But I will say this: if I see something that is blatant and I see something that I know has the potential to be a dangerous product, I'm going to speak up. But all I'm going to do is give the information and hope that that person takes it to heart because of the potential danger. I am not the canning police. I'm not going to show up going bee-doo, bee-doo, bee-doo in my little tiny black and white squad car with my giant mason jar red light on the top of it. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. That'd be a little weird. But there are things that you have to follow. And I hear this every single time. My grandmother did it this way for years and we have never been sick. Well, that's good, but I hope you didn't give it to somebody with a compromised immune system or somebody who, or a child. Children are very susceptible to foodborne illness. So there is concern on that, and I hope that people understand that when I do that, it's because of my love for the craft, and it's my job. I don't just talk about food preservation and safety because I like the sound of my own voice. It's because it's important and it's what I do. It's what I do. Never did potato. They're really, really good. They're really, really good. I would like to can salmon. Yes. So you just need a pressure canner, and we can go over times on that. Tuna and salmon, I believe, are both an hour and 40 minutes of time, and that's not just an hour and 40 minutes. It's like putting it into the canner, bringing it up to a boil, letting it vent for 10 minutes, putting the weight on, letting it come up to pressure. When it comes to pressure, wait, are we sure we're at the right pressure? It's good, it's good, it's good. Start my timer for an hour and 40 minutes. At an hour and 40 minutes, you turn the fire off and you let it set. It'll take about 45 minutes for that to come down in pressure, for the lock to go. Crack the lid, wait 5 minutes. Take the lid off, wait 5 minutes, then take them out. So it's a long, long process. So get yourself a book. Get yourself a book. Yeah. But if you have questions on that, let me know. I am happy to do that. Did Slothman give you a... I already answered, but you skipped. Oh, I'm sorry, Queen Sugar Buns. Oh, you're going to leave it. Thank you for that. I appreciate that so much. I get to talk and I get to focus on this stuff, and when I get into the zone, I'm really bad at looking at the chat, so I do apologize for that. That is my bad. Mr. Slothman, thank you very much for giving Vomiting Goose that sub. That is absolutely fantastic. Bye, Joe. Joe Dirk, I hope you come back again. I hope you're ready to do some more canning. So we're going to put those in there. We're going to get these going. All right. So these I'm just going to fill with hot water because these are going to be our buffer. And then we're going to fill up these and get them into the water bath canner. Here we go, here we go, here we go now. All right, because this is boiling, I'm going to get that away from me over there. Going to put this in here because we're going to put our jars directly in here. Once we fill them, we're going to put them directly in. Oh, there's sometimes I really wish I had that automatic hot water thing, but man, they are expensive and require a lot of energy to use. I'm going to put a new valve in my sink so that when I have to let the water run to get it hot, it's going to run into a collection pot out back. You're going to come back? Well, I look forward to it. I look forward to it. All right, so the jars that I'm putting in that are going to be blanks, I'm just putting them in there to help hold up so the other jars don't fall over. I am going to fill them with hot water because this will allow these to come up to temperature even faster. Always be cautious putting things into a hot canner because it's a hot canner. I'm just making sure these jars are hot for the carrots. And I will empty these out one at a time. We're going to put you in the middle, because if you fall over, I don't care. All right. Where's my slotted spoon? Oh, it's in the dishwasher. All right, so remember we're filling these up. We're leaving a 1/2 inch headspace. We've got our ladle here. I don't need this here anymore. We're going to put that over there. Here's using 8.5 cups, leaving them whole, use the same processing time. All right, so we're just going to fill these up. I'm not packing these in like some of the jars. We pack in our food really, really tight. I don't like how that's going in there. There we go. Now I'm going to finish this off with brine. So this, I am going to use this on here. The jars can get hot because now you're filling them with a hot product. Usually if you hold them up with the shoulder, they're not quite as hot. But if need be, set them down on the counter. I just get used to remember, we want to keep a 1/2 inch headspace on these. We're going to make sure we get all the air bubbles out. So this is, get over here to my tines. Okay, that one's a little too full. So I'm going to take some of this brine out. Now remember what I said, we're going to take our We're just going to make sure we get all the air bubbles out of the bottom. All the air bubbles out. And then we're going to take a paper towel with some clean water. If you're doing meat, with the meat, you'll get your paper towel. We're just taking a paper towel. Get your paper towel damp with a little bit of vinegar. The vinegar helps cut any fats that may have gotten on the rim. We are wiping all the way around the rim of the jar. We want to make sure that anything that's on that lid, on that jar, is off of that jar. Oh, all my lids are over here. Not you. All right, I've got my 4 lids here. These have already been washed in warm soapy water. We're putting this on here, and when we put the ring on, we are not going to cinch this down. A lot of people, so you can see how loose it is, right? We're going to turn it on. It's just starting to stop. I'm just going to go just a skosh more. This is not on here super tight. You cinch this down, the air can't vent out, and you're going to buckle your lids. So that one's on there. That's good. That one feels pretty. I'm going to turn this one up a little bit. I don't care. Just watch out for me because I'm... What do you need? Oh, no, that's fine. Good. No, help yourself. All right, some more carrots. And then while these process, we'll finish doing it. We're going to stuff all of our green beans, get our brine going for our green beans. And then I'm going to start on the pork belly. We'll get that. Get our pork belly curing. The pork belly is going to take 7 to 9 days to cure. I'm hoping it's closer to 7 because then we can do the smoking of it on next Wednesday. All right, so if you move over there, oh, smart. I'm not packing them in, I'm just kind of like lining them up. It's like playing Tetris. It's always like playing Tetris. Again, filling this up, 1/2 inch headspace, vent out the air. You know, just use that plastic knife. You don't want to use a metal knife. I don't know if I told you guys this. You don't want to use a metal knife because you don't want to etch the glass. Over time, as you use metal, over time, it gets these etches in there, and that compromises the jar's integrity, and that's how you can get things that will actually... So this one can have a little bit more brine. That's good. Wiping any seasonings, anything, particularly because it's got sugar inside this. I'm not just doing the edge, I'm kind of like creasing it down around a little bit, kind of getting underneath that lip a little tiny bit. Last little bit there. Our lid, our securing ring. I'm waiting for it to, once I feel the binding, just a little tiny skosh more. Oh, jaw. Jaw and caw. Now, if one of these jars does not have enough carrots to fill it, and I have enough brine, the brine still has to come up to the 1/2 inch mark, okay? If you leave too much of a gap, you have too much air in there, it won't sufficiently vent all that air out. So whatever the headspace is, it has to be product, it has to be brine, but you need to close that gap, okay? If you wanted spicy carrots, I could have added a couple red pepper flakes to this. But this has mustard seed, and mustard seed is spicy. Rogue carrot got in the ladle. Usually if you pour your brine in nice and slow, you won't get a lot of air bubbles. It's when you pour your brine in too fast. And I forgot to do it on that one, so I'll have to put that one on a watch. A little bit more brine. I haven't made pickled carrots for a while. I made some the first time. I don't want to miss out on those. Whoops. What is that square clip you're wearing on your apron? Yes, it is a mic. It's the Rode Go wireless mic. So the other half is over here plugged into a receiver thing that plugs into my computer, and then this is the actual mic itself. Mr. Slothman, thank you for that lurk. I appreciate that very much. All right. Making sure there's no seeds, no mustard seeds on there, no celery seed on there. And you don't want to start putting these into jars and then walking away and doing something else. Get them all done, get them in your canner, then go do something else. I keep doing that. I would say that's probably the riskiest thing is doing with canning on stream, is that you get distracted with chat and you get distracted with, you know, a hype train or something fun like that. So fun, you have to enjoy them though. Come on, lay down. Come on, lay down sideways. Geez, don't make me pick you up. Slothman is lurking, always lurking. If I was going to make a giant batch of carrots, and I only want to do part today, you can save your brine and put it in the refrigerator. It'll last a few days in your fridge. This one's going to have a lot of mustard seed in it because I cannot get that thing to... There we go. All right, let's see where we're at on that one. Then we'll put these in, and this one needs a little bit more. I have enough in here for a whole nother jar, and it said only. Good thing I have jars ready. I got them ready. Put me in, coach. Ah. Now, if you take these out after 24 hours, if they do not seal, you can reprocess them within 24 hours. But the only downside is you'll have to replace the flat part of the lid. And right now, with there being a lid shortage, that can be challenging. If it was something that was just using like 5 minutes processing time, I don't know that I would worry about that. When you pickle, is it better to leave room between the cucumbers? Some of them will tell you to hard pack, and some of them will tell you to loosely pack, and that's because of they're going to shrink. When we first do the dilly beans, asparagus is really known for this, pickled asparagus. When you do the pickled asparagus, it will often shrink and shrivel, and you'll think, oh my gosh, I packed them in there so tight. And then they're just swimming in the jar. I mean, just swimming around and around and around. And you're like, now what? But then a week later, they start absorbing that brine and they plump back up. I'm listening to the fun in the background and shall return soon. It's always a fun time here. All right, so I got to take one of these jars out because I'm going to replace it with, I think I have enough jar of carrots. So we'll take this one out. Let this sit there. These really smell good. My mother-in-law used to make this really good, it was like a pickled salad. It had baby corn, the spring peas, and then she would add this brine of vinegar and mustard seeds and stuff. I hated peas when I was growing up. But I absolutely loved that salad. And I think these carrots would have gone very well in there. I know it's loud on your guys' ears probably. I'm sorry about that. The good thing about using the funnel that I'm not using now is it also helps keep the rim of your jar clean. Oh, so close, man. Oh gosh, so close on that one. The more you do, you'll get faster and faster as you do these. You'll get quicker and quicker. If you answered my question already, I was on the phone. I was not able to hear it. Oh, the square clip. Are you talking about this clip here? Was that the question you're referring to, Goose? Yes, that is. It's the Rode Go wireless mic. I like it because that way, if I'm at the kitchen or wherever I'm at, I was gonna do like an area mic. One's called Blue Rhino's a propane thing. Anyway. But the problem was for me was that my ceilings are so high. I was afraid I was going to get an echo. So we opted for a wireless. All right. Didn't fall off. Yeah, I did that. I did this one because one, it was recommended, and two, I heard somebody else who had one. Oh, I think the girl who bakes has one. And I just loved how it sounded. I was like, wow. And it kind of blocks out, like if I have like the food processor on or something like that, it kind of blocks that out. Okay, I'm using my silicone gloves. I'm going to lower these in nice and slow.